Mr. President, if we add up the cost, how much the last 8 years have cost us, because to me, the arithmetic always tells you the story. So I've done a calculation, I've got my economists to do it in case I made a mistake, that if we had grown from 2010 by 4.5, and that's not, we were growing by more than that in the pre-crisis years.
Sure.
And a lot of emerging markets, apart from Russia and Brazil, got back to their pre-crisis growth levels.
Yeah.
A lot of those Asian countries got back. India's exceeding it. Our GDP would have been R1 trillion higher. R1 trillion. Now, if you take R1 trillion, the minister, when he was the tax guy, he would have collected 29% of that as tax. That meant that Tita, I can call him Tita because he's not here, because otherwise he'd make me call him governor or minister, I'm not sure which one, would have had an extra 290 billion rand of revenue, and his deficit was 202 billion. Now, that 202 would have been a lot lower because you would have had extra money over the years unless you had spent it. But it just shows you why growth is so important. But then you had Jack Ma here at your investment summit, which I must give you credit for. I thought, what are we talking about? We must just get doing. But it was a very good summit, Mr. President. And I have to give you credit.
You mean the investment summit?
Yeah, the investment summit.
Where we raised 290 billion rand.
Yeah. But they got to deliver.
They will deliver. They will deliver.
If you're business friendly.
Yes.
Exactly.
But a week later, 2 weeks later.
You got more for Africa.
Yes. We got South Africa got $6.8 billion.
I thought it was from who?
Not from the banks.
Huh?
From the banks. That's what the Premier told me.
Those are loans.
Yeah, you must talk to the Premier.
You must have investment, not loans.
Yeah.
But Jack Ma at your summit, when he made that speech, unfortunately he had it on a Friday night, that you can't go to a conference on a Friday night, so I had to watch the speech on video. And he made 3 conditions for a growth economy. 1, educate your people. 2, celebrate entrepreneurs. You got a lot of them in the room here. You got educators here as well. 3, build an efficient state. These are tough issues that we have to deal with. How do you see us dealing with them?
Well, those are critical issues. Education is number 1. And of course, build an efficient state and open channels for entrepreneurs. Now, education is critical, and we keep talking about it. And many people think that we're not making progress. We are making progress. The progress, yes, is slow, and it is slow because the apartheid education system did a lot of damage, more damage than many people actually realize. The damage that was done by Verwoerd from 1954, when apartheid education was introduced, right up to 1994, is huge and enormous. But we are working our way through that and focusing on education, and quite a lot of our budget is actually directed towards education. It is the number 1 outcome in our plans as a government, that the first thing we've got to attend to is to improve the human capabilities, and education is therefore the number 1 issue. And the second one is improving the capability of the state. And the state was actually dealt enormous and serious blows in the last 9 years, where by design and by intent, they debilitated the capability of the state to be able to do a whole number of things. And as corruption set in, it meant that everything then became much weaker and much more directionless. And we are now focusing on rebuilding the capability of the state and reinvigorating the commitment of people who work in the state. But more importantly, the regulatory process and the bureaucratic process needs to be addressed as well. And this is what we are focusing on as well. And we're doing that both at national, provincial, and local government level. And the local government level is where we have the greatest challenge, because we've got all these 278 municipalities, which Minister Zweli Mkhize is trying to get to grips with, and in a wonderful way, and he's identified 57 of them as needing immediate emergency attention. So that is being handled, and we will continue to do that. And entrepreneurship, it was good to have Jack Ma here, because he's just a breath of fresh air, and he's an inspiration. And I'm hoping to have him here more and more, and I want him to set up his own organization here. So all those things and more is what we are focusing on. So this time around, we are not sleeping at the steering wheel. We are wide awake, and this plane is flying, and it's got capable people who are going to fly it.